So right now, let me just scene set this here because, yes, we are in no commercial mode. We are now chopping out the commercials because we do not want you to miss even a single tick of this rally. We do this when markets are dropping and when they're rising an exponential amount. So here's something that we're looking at the moment. The S&P up 55, NASDAQ up 181. But amidst all the shuffle of the excitement over the midterms and the stock market, this may have gotten lost, but not with us. The latest job openings and labor turnover number, also known as the JOLT survey, came out yesterday for the month of September, and it showed there are now 7 million job openings. That's a 7 handle for the third month in a row. But as workers in the administration might jump for joy, businesses might be crying in their beer as positions remain unfilled. Who better to discuss the hunt for skilled workers than Rockwell Automation, the Milwaukee-based robotics and automation giant? It does business in more than 80 countries and currently has, well, let's find out from the CEO how many job openings they have that are glaringly empty. Rockwell Automation CEO Blake Moret is here in a Fox Business exclusive. Get us up to speed here. How many job openings do you have, let's see, in America right now?
So, Liz, in America, we have a total of around 500 jobs available. About 150 of those are manufacturing, the balance of which are technology-focused position, engineers, coders, and that's throughout the country at our various locations.
How difficult a time are you having filling?
Well, we have to continue to up our game. We have to have the strongest value proposition because these bright workers, many of them just coming out of school, are obviously in high demand with the shortages around the country. So we have to provide interesting work and a chance for a great career.
Okay. These are high-paying jobs, but yet you're saying we have to up our game and you have to really stay at the top of the industry. I'm hearing wage rising. I'm hearing wage inflation. Are you modeling for something like that? Can that be a negative as well as a positive?
Well, certainly we have to be able to pay a competitive wage, and we have to look at the total rewards that these workers are looking for depending on their line of work. But we think that we have a good offering. We do interesting things, and we've had very good historical retention of our employees. But as we grow, which we are, then we obviously have needs for traditional jobs, but also increasingly jobs that weren't even around 10 years ago. So data analytics professionals and additional types of skills that are going to be important to meet our customers' needs as we go forward.
Well, what can Washington, D.C. do? What can Congress do? We have now this so-called divided Congress. Democrats control the House. Republicans retain control and build on their control in the Senate. President Trump being a Republican. If you had everybody in front of you, I'm asking CEOs this question, what would you beg for? What would you say, please do, so we can get these jobs filled and start paying folks?
Well, obviously, it starts with a pro-manufacturing agenda to make sure that we have a strong climate for manufacturing, because that really is at the vital core of the American economy. Closely related to that is workforce development, to make sure that we have people who are comfortable with the technology that's going to allow American companies to be as competitive as possible, and then foundationally, to be able to have strong STEM education pathways to start early and to be able to provide those workers who are comfortable with those technologies.
Hold on 1 second. I need to point out the Dow Jones Industrials is now up 533 points. We're looking at intradays now. Look at the Russell at its highs of the sessions, up 25 points. Those are the small and mid caps. Blake, as we continue this conversation and keep these intradays up, it is a great day on the stock market. However, you just referenced experts in STEM, students that we should be pushing out, but we are not. For some reason, we don't get that right from K through 12 to then get people through college. What's your feeling on immigration and the H-1B visa situation?
Well, we obviously want to be able to take advantage of the broadest possible talent pool. We want to be able to find the best from around the world, and we want to be able to provide the training to be able to enhance that natural talent. You asked before, what could the government do? I think there's different things that could be done to facilitate that. But I tell you what, we're not waiting. we're providing programs ourselves. We're encouraging the education of this talent, working with schools so that they understand the skills that are going to be most in demand. And we're supporting early adult STEM education, because those are the things that are going to have to happen, and manufacturers like us have a strong role to play in that.
One last quick question, because we got this massive rally going on, and your stock is obviously doing relatively nicely here. You have to tell us the tax cut for big corporations. The president told Blake Berman today, when our Blake Berman asked him if you were, and Democrats were to bring you an idea of a tax cut for the middle class, would you make adjustments? On the corporate side, you guys have gotten a lot, and the president's a deal maker. What if he cuts back on, and he didn't say he'd do this because he didn't get specific, but he said he'd be open to adjustments, cut back on the corporate tax cut?
You know, we're going to focus on what we can control, and for us and for our customers, productivity remains in demand regardless of what the background effects are. And so companies that we serve are continuing to try to do more with less, and that's the business we're in, to try to make industrial companies and their people more productive.
Well, guys, Rockwell Automation has 500 open jobs in the U.S. Go on their website, right? Good to see you, Blake. Thank you very much.